Take your sweetness away from me. I have no self-control.
And we are back.
For more Hollowy goodness.
I changed out
10 more minutes of Hollowy goodness.
Yeah. I changed out Grub Song for Nailmasters Glory.
It's so funny too, because when you came up with a great idea for the name of this channel, and it's become whenever we play D&D, it has become a everlasting pun within our group. 10
just
more
a joke,
minutes?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna take a break. Give it take about 10 minutes. Somebody always goes beep bop boop, and it's like, guys, stop. Knock it off. I'm a DM and I do Let's Plays, but they don't need to be together.
They don't always have to be together. We do our own. Our friends do our self-referential, which is fun.
It's fun.
I love the fact that they do it because they're huge supporters of the channel too, and it's super nice to have them do that as well.
I remember what I wanted to talk about because we were talking about the creepy fucking.
I will sip my coffee and listen to your stories.
Yes, we were talking about the creepy fucking ghost raccoon shit. I was watching creepypasta type stuff.
As I
normally do. I like getting creeped out about like paranormal stuff. And I know it's silly. Ooh, for the honor of Hollow Nest, get his ass. Brings him up and it stuns him. I love talking about that stuff and thinking about it. Nice. But the, what was I gonna mention? Oh yeah, we talked about it before. You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
No.
I like the idea of ghosts.
I like the idea
of ghosts. I definitely believe in them, although I don't logically think that they could ever exist.
I would love a world where ghosts exist. I just don't believe
Well, it's
that
comforting,
they do.
you know?
I'm agnostic.
God damn it.
I'm a person that goes, hey, I don't know everything. There's no way to know everything. I'm not gonna deny that there may be a God, there might not be a God. Like, do I think evolution happened? Yeah, that seems like the most logical scientific reasoning behind it. But yeah, evolution seems to check out.
I like the idea of feeling comforted by like something beyond.
Yeah, I think that's part of it too.
Yeah.
But I'm also just, I'm not all-knowing. I'm not omnipotent. So I'm not about to say, you're wrong. It's like, I don't know.
No, I don't.
I'm not that smart.
But
I don't think anyone's that smart.
So you don't believe in gods? You don't believe in ghosts?
No, I think there's always a scientific explanation for whatever happens.
Aliens?
I think aliens could exist. I think the little green men thing is far-fetched.
Do you think we've seen aliens on Earth?
The UFOs and stuff, I don't believe in that. I think the UFOs are astronomical anomalies that happen, and then people, their eyes play tricks on them, and they believe what they think they saw.
Yeah.
I don't think that people have seen UFOs. The idea, but you know,
really?
like I said,
even after I've told you my stories and stuff?
Yeah, sorry, man.
No, I mean, I'm not hurt.
No.
I'm not like, how dare you not believe me?
No, the idea that people see UFOs, I don't buy, but I'm also not denying the fact that, yeah, there's probably aliens that exist.
It seems a statistical unlikelihood that they wouldn't.
It seems very unlikely that aliens wouldn't exist. It just, the idea of how we believe alien life forms might be as other sentient beings.
I like the idea of like, ooh, damn.
I would love the idea if that the Mass Effect type universe existed, like that there were other alien life forms. That would be rad.
Yeah.
I will never probably see that in my lifetime.
No, you never will.
Yeah. Like, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I mean, it's been a while since I've talked about ghosts and aliens and stuff like that, and I'm not like.
I still remember one time back in your old, not your crappiest apartment, but it's when you and Jen first started living together in that other crappy apartment.
Oh, you mean all of my fucking places I lived
previously,
other than the current house?
I mean, that other place you lived that was when you were renting house wasn't that bad.
Where the fuck is everyone? Oh,
when you were in your old neighborhood, that was a nice house. It's just your roommate was kind of crazy. Nice. I mean, he was an okay guy, but kind of crazy.
Which? Oh, okay. I was like, which one are you?
The guy that flipped the billiard table.
Yeah, the guy we had to fucking
tackle to the ground. And you're like, you can go, Sam. I'm like, you sure? You're like, yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was good.
No, like I've always, even as like a little kid,
try and get out of there.
Yep. Oh boy, I just need a fucking second of
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
There we go.
You can't heal.
No, I had my nail art already charged, so I didn't want to fuck with it. God damn it, dude.
You're close. Just try and...
I just hope he doesn't jump up. There we go.
You can probably heal for 1.
I couldn't get it off. Well, I'm just gonna have to fucking go for it without him hitting me.
Dash.
Damn it. Oh well, you know,
close.
we'll get another try. I forgot that I didn't have quick focus on. I played it. I played it too loose. When I was a little kid, I used to talk about a little girl that would live in my closet, and I don't remember any of it. But my mom would say she'd be telling me like stories at night and stuff, like to put me to bed.
Yeah.
And shit would like move off of places in the room where I couldn't have reached. And she was like, it was really weird. And then they looked underneath the house, and there was like some Halloween candy under there, and it was from my own stash of like Halloween candy as a kid. It was like new candy. And she was like, haven't been underneath the house since we moved in here. Like, what the fuck? And it was like legit some of the stuff that we had. And I mean,
really weird.
I was a kid, I don't know. But yeah. I got fucking shivers when I heard that the goddamn raccoon underneath the house. I was just like, can't see anything, but I can physically hear the movement.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. And it just reminded me how much I love the paranormal and unexplained and just the way that your body can react.
I love paranormal stories. I don't like horror movies, and just because they're more about shock than they are weird. But also my imagination loves to play with me. Yeah. I know that Freddy doesn't exist, but like Freddy Krueger. Yeah. But if I watch that movie and I turn the lights off, I'm gonna think, but what if he does?
Oh, during the break, I turned on creepypasta stuff. I'm like, yes!
I can't.
I love it.
I can't watch horror movies and horror stuff because my mind will play tricks on me. I still don't like the dark. I know that's a thing to be, but I don't like it.
Well, it's a natural fear of the unknown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also when I watched Stranger Things, like, it's not a horror. I'm like,
it's not a horror, but it's got creepy aspects.
But it's got creepy aspects of it, man. It's kind of like that stuff plays with my brain. So when people are like, oh, you haven't watched season 2 yet? Yeah, because that shit taints my mind.
I didn't know that was why you didn't do it.
That's why, because my mind will play tricks on me and go like, it's fucking creepy. Fuck! Because my mind won't shut it off. My mind will keep replaying those parts. I can't just not think about it. I will think about it.
Yeah, I will too. I think that's why I like it so much, because it's like an adrenaline rush.
And it unsettles me, and I don't like that unsettlement. I do like some horror-ish type stuff. Like I enjoyed Stranger Things. I enjoyed the Castlevania series that they had. There are some animes that have horror aspects to it that I enjoy. I'm not into gore as much, like the gore stuff.
Yeah.
What do they call it?
What? Gore porn?
It's not gore porn, but whenever they do it, like in horrors where they overdo the gore, maybe it is gore porn.
I mean, I call it gore porn.
But yeah, the overindulgence in gore and horror, that's not the horror I like. I like the kind of creepy...
Are you thinking of body horror?
Yeah, body horror.
Because that's different. Okay. Body horror is more like, as I take it anyway, like transformations and like The Thing, that's body horror. Or how at least I understand it to be.
I don't like that, and I don't enjoy things of Saw or those creepy things.
Like Hostel?
Like Hostel.
God, I hated Hostel.
That stuff is not horror to me. It's not what I enjoy.
Yeah.
I do like the sense when shows have the sense of unknown and the sense of basically Stranger Things kind of horror-esque or Hellboy horror.
Yeah.
Where it's fantasy horror, it's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
It's the fear of things you don't understand.
So you like monster horror?
I like monster horror. I like things of that nature. I take them in small doses, but I enjoy that stuff. It's the same reason I enjoy The Witcher, because in a sense that does have some kind of Grimm's tales.
Yeah, Grimm fantasies.
Grim fantasy horror to it, where it's fun. Werewolves and vampires, not Twilight. I'm talking Castlevania. I'm talking Witcher. I'm talking European vampires. I'm talking about legitimate shit. I'm talking
legitimate shit. None of this fucking European monster.
I'm talking about the Curse of Strahd, motherfuckers. I don't even still know who that character is.
Curse of Strahd.
I know he's a D&D.
Vampire
I know he's a big D&D villain.
Ooh.
I like that kind of stuff. That kind of classical horror
No, I
stuff
got
is
it.
fun to me. Jekyll and Hyde, that stuff is interesting.
Jekyll
but
and Hyde?
I don't enjoy Saw. I don't enjoy other stuff of that. I can't watch movies.
I enjoy
like
Saw,
Halloween, even though I enjoy the premise, it's too tense for me. I physically cringe up to the point where like, no, I have to stop watching this. I
Like Halloween the movie?
the movie, yes.
Okay, yeah.
But I also appreciate why people like those movies. But I think Halloween has that good. Same thing with Carrie, the original Carrie that came out. I appreciate those movies for what they are because I feel that's when horror was at its best, and then horror kind of divulged into this weird shock value.
Well, they still have good horror,
Yeah.
man. It's just that's not the popular stuff
it's
all
not
the
the
time.
popular, yeah.
Like, I like the horror of It Follows, to where it's. I don't think you've seen it. I need to show it to you. It's a horror of. It's a sexually transmitted monster. Yeah, fucking crazy, right? You're like, what the hell? But it's a monster in the way of that. And I hope I get the premise fucking correct. The
Ground pound.
There we go. The you fuck. Spoiler alert, guys. If you don't want to, you know what? I'm gonna keep. No, it's not a spoiler. It's just the premise of the movie. Okay.
It's a spoiler, though. I mean, know that we're going to talk about this movie.
We're gonna talk about It Follows. Yeah. Sorry, guys. The girl It starts out with the girl. She goes to a party and fucks this guy. This guy really wants to fuck. So I think he like date rapes her or something like
that's
that,
messed up.
essentially. But. And this isn't like a okay for it or anything,
No.
but he does it because he's got a sexually transmitted monster following him, essentially.
So he's trying to get rid of
So he's
it.
trying to get rid of it because it passes along to the next person that you fuck, and it basically has to kill them before it can go to you next.
But if you're in a relationship,
So if
and
you
you're just
fuck
passing
someone,
it back and forth.
Well, no. It's whoever had it last is the one who has to essentially kill it or get killed by it, and then it goes down the line. So the more people, when you fuck someone, and then you basically have to pass it on to them, and they have to go try and fuck someone, and that puts two people in front of line for you. So now you're like, okay, I've got a little bit of extra like time, like. If you're like, it could have been like, if you go fuck like a sex worker or something like that, they're gonna fuck a bunch of people, you know, because they're sex workers. Nothing
Yeah.
against the concept of sexual oriented adult stuff, but that's a very like legitimate way of going about fucking damn it, the getting rid of the monster. I'm gonna die here.
I think you can do it. He's only got a couple more hits.
I'm talking too much and not focusing.
I mean, I can. So,
But you need to see it because it's cool.
heal up.
I am right now. But essentially, the monster is just
Perfect.
a slow thing. Like it takes the image of a person.
Yeah, that's a long. You should have healed before this.
You're right. I should have.
This is what
It
happens
takes
when you
the
talk.
image of a person that you know or have seen, I believe. But it
Remember, go for
follows
quick
and it
hits.
only goes slow.
Don't try and charge up. Just kind of do quick hits.
So imagine Pepe Le Pew essentially,
Oh.
where it's like, it'll follow you around, but it'll only walk. But since it looks like a normal thing, you never know when you're safe.
Nice. Heal up.
Yep. You never know when you're safe. And it's fucking freaky because no
Yeah,
one else can
no-
see it.
no thanks.
So you're like looking around, you're like, does anyone else see that person? And it's like, yeah, I do. And it's like, okay,
no.
then it's not the monster. But I thoroughly enjoyed it because it's not really like
Watch out.
blood
Jump.
or anything like that, per se. I don't think there's really any like
Get out of the corner.
fucking scary bits. I mean, it's like it's not really
He's gonna dash
horror
at you.
for the sake of horror for the sake of
Watch out. They're
like
gonna come
scary
right
shit.
Try and corner you now.
Whee! Oh, that didn't work.
No,
that
he's
didn't
too
work.
big.
That didn't work. That didn't work.
Nope.
I'm trying to get rid of one of them. Oh boy.
Watch out. Get out of that corner.
Yep. I'm trying. I don't really get a
You can
second
heal
to heal.
for one and then get out. Get out again.
I can't dash through
You can probably jump
all
on
of
the
them with
jump
until
on
it
the wall and then
recharges.
dash out. Watch out. He's gonna dash. You.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, no, I like fantasy horror, Hellboy-esque. That stuff is fun to me because there's a sense of tension to it.
Yeah.
That, what you just described, no, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to be in near that. I don't want to get in a mile of that. I don't want to even think about watching that. I don't even see 10 seconds of that. No. No, 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 no.
Why did I re-enter this? This is going to be our last recording session until we're done, right? Or this is going to be our last recording session for tonight, right?
We're gonna do
if I'm in here, I can't get any practice in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're like mid-episode. But yeah, I like those kind of horror movies where it's like psychological in an aspect of like, could it be this? Could it be that? It's very unsure, and it's not very gory.
Like, I love Twilight Zone, and Twilight Zone has a sense of horror to it.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
I love that sense of...
Like new Twilight Zone or newer Twilight Zone?
Classic Twilight Zone. You can go with Black Mirror, and Black Mirror is okay.
I haven't watched it yet. I heard it's really good.
It's basically like a new Twilight Zone. Some episodes are hit or miss.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple.
Well, just like Twilight Zone. Some of them are like...
True.
Some of these kind of...
But I mean,
like the concept of it sucks.
I legitimately pretty much love all the original like first 3-4 seasons of Twilight Zone. I don't think I disliked a single episode.
Yeah. I mean, like some of the concepts of other ideas of some of the episodes is like, that's not really, like, it didn't interest me. But the cool thing about it is it doesn't need to every time because they're super short.
20-minute chunks. Something I noticed, I think we've talked about it before, but Rod Sterling, who was the main kind of lead creative on Twilight Zone, and he also worked on Star Trek. Star Trek had a lot of the same themes and stuff that I would explore, but something about the original Star Trek series that I could never really fully commit to is they were hour-long episodes, and they kind of went on too long. I love Twilight Zone because it would give you little vignettes of these what-if scenarios and these what-if horror situations, but they never dwelled too long on it. Because they had just the right amount of time of, hey, you got the idea for this world, you got the idea for this concept, but we're not going to dwell on it because there's enough meat to maybe go on and do more, but they leave you wanting instead of leaving you oversaturated. Well,
it's the idea of a unique concept every time and being able to always be different that I find really cool. A counterpoint, not that it's horror, but that's kind of similar to how Doctor Who works, I imagine.
Yeah.
I don't care for the fucking show.
Doctor Who runs in the same problem that I have with Star Trek. It's an hour long.
But isn't it it's serialized? But isn't it like, isn't there so much weird shit that just doesn't?
There is. It's a very like off-kilter stuff. But if I remember right, Doctor Who's hour-long episodes. It's the same reason when people said, "Oh, watch Game of Thrones." You mean the thing I don't have a subscription to, the thing I don't have on the channel, and the thing that's an hour-long each episode, and we're in season 5 now? Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna start watching Game of Thrones, especially when I've heard all the spoilers.
I don't know, man. You tend to not watch. I should have not.
HBO shows?
No, you tend to not watch stuff until you can binge it, and now you're saying you don't want to do it because you'd have to binge stuff.
I mean, I'm more of a person that I love animation. It's really hard for me to go and watch live action stuff because I just don't care as much. There's an extra level of appreciation that goes into animation. There's an extra level of enjoyment that I get out of seeing people at the top of their craft that perform both storytelling, voice acting, character acting by the animators. You know, there's just so much extra that's added to it. It's the same reason with games that do really good stories, you know, you get to interact with it. Animation, in my opinion, is the hardest form of visual medium, like visual storytelling, that you can do and do it well. Because there's so many moving parts, there's so many people that have to be involved, and there's so much coordination that has to happen. Just making animation in general is hard enough. To do animation well, tell a good story, have good acting, have good, you know, character animation, have all that come together is extremely difficult.
I see what you're saying. I think it's different aspects of other stuff as well.
Live action has
a lot of live action stuff that also is valid.
Don't get me wrong.
Based off of not.
I love my Law and Order, and I do love live action. Like I love Star Wars. I appreciate live action stuff. But if you told me all those Marvel movies were animated, I'd be just as happy. Like the live action part of the Marvel movies isn't one in like interests me. It's like, oh, it's kind of cool to see them if they look more realistic and more plausible in the real world. But if you had told me there were a bunch of animated features, I'd be like, yeah, I'm really still on board. I might even be even more on board.
Yeah, I get you. You're just a very animation-heavy kind of guy.
It's kind of when people do realistic art, I'm going, that's cool. That's awesome. Like that's a really high-level skill. The fact that you can take and make it look super realistic, but at the same time, for me, I never practice that because we have photographs. I can just take a picture and it's as realistic as realism gets.
God damn it, Sam! Why can't you just love someone's skill?
Whereas when it comes to drawing, the whole thing that I want to do is I want to.
Did I actually get a hit in before I fucking title screen?
Yeah, I want to take my version of reality and show you what I think, or what I think is aesthetically pleasing, and I want to bend it and manipulate it and do different interpretations. It's why I love games such as Hollow Knight and Flint Hook, because their styles are so prevalent. Like Dom 2D with his art style for Flint Hook, or you have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which is Rob Patterson.
I don't know.
Robert Pattinson. I can't remember. It's been a while.
I don't know.
But I mean, that's one reason why I love animation so much. So live action. If Game of Thrones is animated, I would be watching it. I would have found a way to watch it. I will pretty much always find a way to watch something that's good animation. Live action is not always a guarantee. People love Breaking Bad. I like Breaking Bad. I'd probably like Breaking Bad way more if it was animated, honestly. Even though Breaking Bad is really good, it's just kind of who I am. I love seeing different art styles. I love seeing animation in motion, and that just comes from practicing the medium and knowing how difficult it is to see something come together. Holy shit, you animated something? That's amazing.
So you only like what you have.
But going back to Breaking Bad, I remember watching it and going, man, I need a detox. I need to watch something happy. I need to see puppies cuddling. I need to see Sarah McLachlan just saying, save these puppies and cuddling with them and singing country music that's happy and joyful. Because god damn it, that show is dark.
Yeah, it is. Fucking that overdose scene.
Woof. Yeah.
Woof. Spoiler alert for a show that's been off for years, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he still
binged it. I
hits
was just
there.
like, okay, need to not watch this. I never even watched the last season because I knew how it was going to end, so I kind of I skipped out on it.
Yeah.
And then I heard that and I was like, yeah, that's what I thought.
It was a good show, though.
It's a fantastic show. Bryan Cranston's really great, and so is the guy that plays Jesse.
Yeah.
Great actors.
Yeah.
But it was so dark and to the point where I knew where it was going to go. I wasn't really interested anymore. I'd seen enough that I was like, that's a great show, guys. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, we will see you guys tomorrow and hopefully actually beat it this time.
Yeah, hopefully.
Adios. Beep bop boop.
Are you ever
See, I
gonna
only
beat
beat
this
them.
stuff?
I only beat them once in the statue
Yeah.
mode. I didn't have intention to be able to beat them yet, but I figured I could always get to them, and it's good practice against trying to beat the Pantheon.
Yeah, and this is only our third attempt, so it's at the point where we don't want to edit it out yet.
This session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get it. I'll fucking get it. I'll have them down to a T.